simulcast on River 949. This is 9 News Queensland with Bruce Paige and Melissa Downs.
Hard Yakka, a top clothing maker, axes almost 2,000 workers.
How are we going to pay the mortgage off? It's just, it's pretty devastating.
The election campaign turns to police and Pauline Hanson's comeback.
And Ipswich bus drivers' drastic action over school kids playing up.
As far as we're concerned, he's a hero.
And more good news on that miracle cuppa.
Good evening. Australian workers have taken another hit from the financial meltdown. Pacific Brands, the maker of famous labels including Bonds and King G, is axing nearly 2,000 jobs and moving most of its business offshore. Dozens of Queensland workers will be thrown onto the dock.
Kevin Rudd accused the coalition of gleefully exploiting the plight of dismissed workers for political advantage.
It is almost as if each time job losses are announced in this country, you can hear the champagne corks pop in the Liberal and National Party room.
The jobs were not on Queensland politicians' minds today as the election campaign turned to law and order. For both leaders, the big issue was police numbers.
Graduating police drew the Premier to their induction ceremony. Ranks have now swelled to 10,000, a promise of past Labor governments. Slipping up on the Water Commission's budget yesterday, Anna Bligh opted for a policy-free day, highlighting the record police number.
What I'm doing is standing on my record.
The police union, which has a history of taking sides in elections, is ready again.
If it's good, we'll say it's good, irrespective of whose side.
The Premier returned to her old university's O Week mid-morning to fire up Labor's student supporters.
I'll be voting for you.
Well done, folks. That's fantastic, yeah.
Political campaigning might have changed since her activist days. However, campus hecklers haven't, the Premier nearly losing her balance.
What's happening to the globe?
Meanwhile, LNP backer billionaire Clive Palmer is back in the fray, suing Bligh for $1 million and her treasurer for $250,000.
The putrid and malignant reintroduction of defamation and threats.
I will not be silenced by National Party bully boys.
Taxpayers will now fund their defence costs. Spencer Jolly, 9 News.
I don't know. Apparently one of the surfers had a little shark nibbling on his ankle at one point, so...
Much too dark. In finance, the stock market lost more ground to close at a 5-year low. Investors weren't impressed with Pacific Brands slashing its workforce, the shares crashing 37%.
But our dollar rallied against most of the majors, lifting 1/3 of a cent on the greenback. Gary's in next with the weather for the rest of the week. If you have tonight's winning number of 9 News and the Sunday Mail's Bill Busters competition, then contact Channel 9 reception before midday tomorrow.
After Bruce and Melissa, the high-tech parking spies ripping off motorists, plus the councillor's husband banned from meetings for eating too much. See you tonight at 6:30.
Good evening. It was cloudy over the region today, but no rainfall officially into our rain gauges. There are a couple of small storms just south of the border on the radar, but they should decay before reaching the Gold Coast later this evening. As we take a closer look at these spectacular weather photos that were captured last night at Cygnet, which is in Tasmania. It's about an hour south of Hobart. It's actually cloud to ground lightning, which is the most severe for us at sea level, while for the aviation industry it is cloud to cloud lightning, which is the most severe. Obviously, that's our weather lesson for this evening. Let's have a look at our temperatures. At the moment, we're sitting on 25 degrees, 68% humidity and an easterly breeze just 8 kilometres per hour. Temperatures today, 30 degrees on the Gold Coast and also Bayside, 28 for Logan and Brisbane. Redcliffe, 24 degrees this morning and a top of 28. Ipswich recorded 29 along with Caboolture, and the Sunshine Coast, another warm start, 25 degrees and 29. Looking at the map, and still the main feature is the massive cloud. Still some some very heavy rain over central and northern Queensland. Townsville has now recorded over 1.5 metres of rainfall since the 1st of January. That's its wettest start in around 50 years. The good news, it will start to dry up as we move a little closer towards the weekend. Still some further rain, but easing across northern Queensland tomorrow. A few light showers across southeast Queensland and for northern New South Wales, while a tropical low will bring some rain into the Kimberley region. As we take a look into state now, very hot through the interior, 38 for Alice Springs, a few showers in the southwest, some hot, dry northerly winds on the way for Adelaide tomorrow, and it will start to warm up over the southeastern corner. Thunderstorms still for the top end, and Cairns 31 degrees. As we take a look interstate, 31 also expected around Rockhampton, 32, Gladstone 32 degrees, and Bundaberg heading for 32. Mackay there 29 and a few showers as we head south along the coastal fringe. Just the chance of a shower or two. Roma 35 and 36 for Longreach. Now for Brisbane, we could see a shower or two later in the day. I think the day will be mainly fine. Moderate southeasterly winds, 29 degrees, the sun up at 5:38. As we take a look across the southeastern corner, any shower activity will be mainly coastal. It'll be early morning, then again late in the afternoon, so not expecting too much rain throughout the day. Ipswich dry with cloud along with Toowoomba, 28 for the Gold Coast and a shower. Now Moreton Bay, the winds will strengthen 20 to 25 knots with a few showers thrown in. Offshore 2.7 metres, so getting a little uncomfortable for tomorrow. Now the outlook over the next 7 days, it will clear for a fine Friday, heating up over the weekend, staying warm through into early next week, but more importantly, a hot weekend on the way. Bring it on.
The last weekend of summer.
Yes,
it'll be interesting to see what February's rainfall has been compared to other years. We've had so much.
We'll keep an eye on that for you.
That's good.
Thanks, Gary.
That's the news for you this Wednesday.
We'll see you tomorrow night.
Good night.
Hello, I'm Tracy Grimshaw. Welcome to A Current Affair. We begin tonight with a stunning turn of events on a major investigation we brought you 9 months ago. We'll tell you what's happened in a moment, but first, here's part of that chilling report.